Hey guys, you're now tuned into the Real Rap Radio Show. I'm your host, Walil Archer, and I'm a special guest, Terry Owens, High Impact Podcast. How are you today?
Hey, I'm great, man. Thanks for having me.
My pleasure. Thanks for coming on. We're going to talk about the bank fraud.
All kinds of fun stuff. Stan Kroenke, the Rams, how he stole that team, and the biggest bank fraud scam on the planet.
Yes, yes, yes. Which one you want to get started with?
Well, let's start with fans' favorite, good old Stan Kroenke, man, and get them all wound up, okay?
Okay, let's talk about it.
Yeah. Here's what nobody knows. All right, these criminal lawyers in that city of St. Louis, and this includes Sheriff Betts and the entire Eighth Circuit Court of Appeals, they knew all about Stan Kroenke long before he ever allegedly bought that team. He never legally owns the team. And we was in Betts' office in downtown St. Louis, myself and a partner, trying to file criminal complaints against the people involved in this, including Stan Kroenke. And at gunpoint, they stopped us from coming in and filing the criminal complaint. I'm not kidding.
At gunpoint?
At gunpoint.
Wow, how did that actually go?
Oh, well, for us, not worth a darn, but for Stan, he's still operating and with the central bank scam, which we're certainly going to cover. But they had a duty, man, to tell everybody about what was going on with Kroenke and Central Bank. They'd already be out of business, and Stan would be incarcerated a long time ago. So they concealed the whole thing.
Wow.
Yes, sir.
Wow, unbelievable.
Yes, sir. And so what's going to happen, and to talk about Stan Kroenke, people are going to have another passion, man, why they're going to hate this guy's guts. Not only has he done all these dirty deals where he yanked that team out of St. Louis, and tried to be Mr. Good Guy back in 1995, along with Mrs. Frontier and that episode. At that point, this guy's cool. He's a billionaire. He thinks St. Louis and Missouri's the place to have a team. Well, so we all loved that, didn't we? And so what nobody has ever known about Stan Kroenke is he came in as a director prior to April 13th of 1995 with this Missouri Central Bank operation. And he, I guess I could preface this, is that people are saying, okay, well, everybody could be a director of a bank. Well, that could be true, but this is not a bank. We have a statement from Mick Campbell released finally after about 6 years of prying away of the Division of Finance that the names that are on all the mortgage loan applications, all the credit cards, all the commercial business loans, debit cards, you name it, car loans, everything, man, are under two different trust names. Central Trust Bank and the Central Trust Bank are never incorporated. And Mick Campbell actually did everybody in the state of Missouri a big service. He came out against this cabal and issued a statement through a CPA firm that I worked through and released that open records under oath that the names that Central Bank's been pulling money in under for 50 years never existed. End of story. And Stan Kroenke invested in this scam long before he ever got tied up with the St. Louis Rams football team. And we proved in federal court that he used this extorted money to finance the purchase of the Rams. He never legally owned the team. End of story. It would already be back in St. Louis. Kroenke would be in prison. And that's where Stan Kroenke obviously ties into this whole matter. He is their biggest investor, man. And it is the largest Ponzi scheme on the planet, bar none.
Wow. So what's the next step?
Yeah, the next step is to get the word out. And by people listening to you right now, bear in mind that the real estate people don't know nothing about this at this point. We're going to be talking to them, but they need to go to my website. There's two of them. The first one is Rams Return, the number 2, STL.com. Fill out the loan document page, submit their documents, And whether they want to hire an attorney or not, they can, but we have a forensic audit done by a CPA out of Foxborough, Massachusetts, which is on the website. It's in 3 parts. And then we have the statement made by Mick Campbell that they have no reason whatsoever to be writing a check out to this bank fraud scam, take their loan applications, their closing documents. And while you're listening to me, I need to show you something. I have right here, myself and my brother went into the county recorder of deeds offices all over Missouri. These are just a small handful of forged deeds of trust. They're all void. So guess what? In the city of St. Louis and the county, we estimate there's about 100,000 people that should not be writing a check out right now. Their homes are free and clear and they don't know it. So they need to take their loan papers. They need to fill out everything on the website, and they literally need to grab the sheriff by the hand or the local the county police, or the city police, walk into Central Bank and demand that loan officer be arrested because he sold them a counterfeited security all day long, and they're still doing it.
Wow, that's interesting. So they actually don't owe the money.
That's correct. There is no debt. And on top of that, that's a very good question. In 2016, my partner, Gary Norman, where we sued Central Bank, all right? And before we did that, we were setting them up. And we asked a question to the former chief financial officer, Ron Medine. We inquired with him through a complaint if Central Bank was a creditor. And I'm telling you, man, this guy must have been drunk and smoking a foot-long doober and dumber and dog doo-doo. He actually answered. And he said, they're not a creditor. So if they're not a creditor, what the hell are you? Okay? So this guy who run the scheme for Stan Kroenke all those years coughed up all the evidence we'd ever needed, in addition to all the other open records. They either a bank is incorporated or it's not. And it's not, dude.
Let everybody know which bank we're talking about.
Missouri Central, commonly referred to as Missouri Central Bank. Some of them will say Central Bank of St. Louis, St. Charles, Central Bank Lake of the Ozarks. Some of them will say Boone County National Bank or Central Bank of Boone County, crap like that. And none of them are incorporated, man. Not a one.
And those documents you showed us was proof of that.
Those are the deeds of trust from just 2 counties. We got, I'm going to say maybe 11 counties we went to. St. Charles, we couldn't get into St. Louis because we got tired of the rigmarole, but we just did open records. And in and around St. Louis, St. Charles, Jefferson County, there's no question that by our estimation, there's 200,000 people who got their homes free and clear right this minute and don't even know it.
Wow.
Yes, sir.
So do you plan on letting the individuals know about their house being free and clear?
Yeah, well, we're hoping that you can help us do that. And we would actually be willing to come down there and sit in your office, man, and blow the lid off this thing. And they can go to that website, fill out the loan document page, and literally right now, take those papers along with all their closing documents. And now they don't have the promissory note, but they can demand to see it. That's a forgery as well. And take the cop with you, call them up and say, I want you to meet me inside Central Bank right now. These guys sold me a counterfeited security. And Mick Campbell, who did come forward in late 2023, stated so under oath that these banks are operating a scam. So he actually did us a huge favor. And that took me over 5 years to get them to smoke that out. And I had to use my CPA's firm out of state so they wouldn't know it was connected to me because I was blackballed.
Wow. And how did you actually get blackballed?
Well, man, the word gets out that if you know something that they don't want nobody else to know about, here's what happened in 2014. I filed a complaint in federal court in Springfield, Missouri. And I had attached to my complaint all my credit files that I audited and what we call the smoking gun. I got a statement released from Casey Clark, an attorney, who ran the Missouri Secretary of State, their Uniform Commercial Code Department. And I inquired, based on the names that were stuck in my credit file, if they were ever chartered banks. And the reason I had to do that is because somebody had stolen my credit card out of my farmhouse in central Missouri in a robbery, and it messed up my credit. And I found these names called Central Bank and Central Trust Bank, which how can two banks say that I own the same debt at the same time? When I got my credit card at Boone County National Bank. So she wrote me back and she said, none of them are incorporated banks. End of story right there. So I was the only guy that ever sued Central Bank for up to, at that point, maybe 35 years. And the federal judges, not making this up, and all the state judges in Missouri, that if anybody ever sued them, they would block it. So when I went in and filed in federal court, and this is the craziest thing you're ever going to hear on top of everything else, the court clerks assigned a dead federal judge to my complaint. Richard E. Dorr, man, was assigned to my federal complaint. That guy was in a compost pile in a crematorium in Houston, Texas, 10 months before I even filed the case.
Wow.
Okay. So why would anybody assign a dead judge? I'd say they got something to hide. Wouldn't you think so?
Absolutely.
Okay. So there you have it, man. That's just the beginning of blowing the lid off. So they brought old Stan Kroenke in just prior to him buying, which everybody, and I thought, you know, with all his money, he could buy an NFL team. He didn't legally own anything, man. He couldn't have walked across the street to buy toilet paper. That was a criminal act with this bank fraud scheme. And so he furthered it under the RICO and the extortion statutes and used that money. And as I showed you, these documents, well, I'm going to go back to for just a minute. These are all forged deeds of trust. That's what they're doing, is they're flipping these counterfeit securities with all these other guys on a month-by-month basis, and it states so in there. And Stan Kroenke, along with Central Bank and all the other little scammers, could literally be worth over $1 trillion, and they've been hiding the money from everybody for up to 50 years, dude.
Wow.
Yeah. So guess what? There's a whole lot of people in St. Louis right now that will want that team back, want their home free and clear, the Cadillac free and clear, their student loan, and all the phony credit card payments. They're void right now, and they don't know it.
So you got to get the word out.
So that's a Big 10 for, my man. We're working on it, and it's getting some momentum. And we heard you as one of the go-to guys.
Yes, yes, yes.
Okay. And so literally, the realtors don't know about this. We're going to be starting to inform them. And I guarantee you, man, if you're in and around that area and they find out about this, you really think they're going to take their client back into Central Bank and help them get sued, go to prison for selling fake loans and fake securities? I don't think so.
So the homes are actually paid for, but they still paying on them on a month-to-month basis.
That's correct, sir. They're free and clear right now. They're all void.
Wow, that is a big scam.
Okay, this is the biggest scam in 200 years. And the guy that everybody loves to hate is the number one scumbag who invested in this thing. And he did so, which he's dumber than dog crap. He did so before he signed the agreement with the Rams football team and all the lease agreements in St. Louis with Stan Kroenke. The city officials and the government, they already knew it. And we also went around to, I'm going to say about maybe 20 central bank offices, St. Charles, O'Fallon, St. Louis, Ferguson, Boonville, all over. And not a one of them, man, have a business license. So that includes the mayors taking big kickbacks and putting private money in their pocket. And when you walk into a central bank, there's no business license. You have to have one. Unbelievable, man.
How many locations do they have?
I think in Missouri, I'm not sure. anywhere maybe 70 to 80, and they're all operating under false pretenses without a business license.
Wow, we gotta let Ellen know that. License
Yeah,
inspection.
man, you got to be retarded. You can't open up no bank anywhere in the world without a business license. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. You can't even open up a used car lot, man, without a business license, let alone a bank. So give me a break. Okay. So all the mayors know all about it. And then the guy down in 7707 Forsyth in downtown Clayton, this guy he's right under the rung of Stan Kroenke. He came up with the idea to issue all of the debit cards with the Cardinals logo, the birds on the bat. That was his idea. And so those are all counterfeit too, man. Anything that's connected to this is counterfeit. So I would also tell you that some of these people, man, have been dragged into court in fake foreclosures, fake credit deals by these attorney law firms posing as debt collectors without a plaintiff, without a bank, and the judges know all about it. So the judges, when this finally gets out, man, there's going to be a whole bunch of them that's going to go and die in a prison cell for all the crap they've been doing.
Wow.
Yeah, man.
So what would you like the listeners to say the website again? You want them to go sign up on the website?
Yes, sir. The first thing they need to do is pull up their loan documents, go to Rams Return, the number 2, STL.com, and you can email me and you can call me. My number, which we're giving out freely for the time being, is 660-888-2999. Real simple to remember. $29.99, like, hey, dollar days, dude. Okay.
So then they go onto the website, or they can actually call you and sign up on the website to call you and to talk to you about it?
Yes. And then once they do that, they'll see the forensic audit done by Ron Adams, a full-blown forensic CPA, man, who is he's a tiger. He smashes these banks upside the head, even if they were allegedly acting legally. Most of them don't. And then you take those documents, you can download them, you can print them off, and that cost us $12,000 to get that done. I did that out of my pocket for the people of St. Louis, okay?
Wow.
Yes, sir. So we're all business, dude, and I've got billboards up around St. Louis. It's talking about how this has been covered up by bribe Sheriff Betts. He knows all about it, dude.
And the CPA, how did you locate your CPA that you have on it?
Yeah, I kind of got lucky. I just found him on the internet about 3 years ago, and I actually helped him win 2 lawsuits. And then he started talking about what he does. And myself and my younger brother, decided to pay him what he wanted. And we gave him a whole pile of these forged deeds of trust. And he went through and he picked out the best ones and slammed them. And he did a forensic audit, and it stated under oath. There's no reason for anybody to be writing out a check, man. Not at all.
Yeah. And how do y'all plan on going after the judges?
That'll be down the road, man. What's going to eventually happen is somebody's going to have to do something to put an end to this bull crap. And I mean real quick, because once they're aware that we know and the public starts gaining momentum, the real issue is that people take their phony documents, and they can take the phony credit card, the phony billing statements. And, I would actually say that that's the easier method and the better route is to take their phony credit card application and their billing statements that they get every month and make copies of them. Just fill out a simple affidavit, call me up, and then go right into the sheriff's office and the local police. I don't care where it's, downtown Clayton, downtown St. Louis, St. Charles, O'Fallon. I don't give a crap where it's at. And go in there and say, I want this outfit shut down and arrested. Mick Campbell, who's the head guy down there, said they're operating illegally. And just keep doing it, man, and demand that you want your money back. Okay?
Yeah.
And just figure this. If you and me got together and we want to go on a street corner and start selling counterfeited credit cards, how damn long would it be before somebody calls the cops on us?
Right.
Okay, that's what they're doing. It's not a bank, man.
And how long have this been going on?
About 50 years. And the reason nobody knew anything about it until I showed up on the scene is the state of Missouri and the federal government and the FDIC is all involved in it. In other words, man, they don't give a damn about no law. They got their own little deal going, and it's the biggest Ponzi scheme in the world right now out of Jeff City, Missouri. And it's run by the crime boss called the Cook family. They had connections, man, right after the early 1900s, and they've been at it ever since.
Wow.
Yep. And we also have contracts with the 3 consumer reporting agencies. And I also have an open records from the Washington, D.C. Federal Reserve Bank that they don't even have a contract with them, but yet they're using their existence to pose under false pretenses that they're operating legally when they're not. So we got everything, man. We got all the contracts. We got all the legal documents. We even got a dead judge assigned to a case.
Now, have anyone contacted the FDIC directly?
Oh, yeah, I have. They never answer. That's why I said, man, I'm blackballed. They know me on a first name basis. So I'm still going at it, dude.
Okay. And as we begin to close out, where can they find you at on social media?
I would say at this point, go to highimpactpodcast.com and they can go there, and then they can go Rams Return to the number 2 stl.com. Right now, man, I have a phone that they can call me directly.
And let them know the number one more time.
Yeah, 660-888. That's $29.99. Like you get a discount today, man. Okay.
And what is your next step from this point going forward?
Oh, we're just going to keep exposing it until the thing finally, the bubble bursts, dude. Okay. Nobody knows about it. And Stan Kroenke knows all about it. And people will say, well, this guy's a billionaire. He would be suing you. I go, no, he ain't going to sue nobody. We sued them in federal court over defamation and slander and credit and all the criminal crap that they're doing, the RICO statutes, extortion, identity theft. The list is endless. They're not going to say a damn thing. They're the ones doing it. So when this finally explodes, and really what's going to get it off the ground is people go into the sheriff and into the police department and jump all over them, man, because there is in city of St. Louis and the county, there's probably close to 600,000 people are writing a check out right now to a bank that never was, dude. And that's billions of dollars going down the toilet.
Right. And you said over the last 50 years.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. We estimate they got started somewhere in the mid 1960s, and they tested it in Jefferson City, Missouri, and they decided to give it a whirl, and they just kept bribing judges and these corrupt mayors, and it's grown from there, and it's in Missouri, Illinois, Kansas, Oklahoma, Colorado, and the Sunshine State. In 1902, I think they was involved with the World's Fair, and the reason why they've never got prosecuted is they actually have another division that acts under false pretenses that actually signs agreement with the county governments and invests the money for them, all under false pretenses. So guess what? All of their retirements are invested illegally, and they're never going to go against their own retirement. We've got those contracts.
Yeah, got a lot of work ahead of you.
We're just now we're gonna poke that bear, man, till the honey goes away. You know what I mean?
Yes. And as we close out, any final thoughts or closing remarks?
Yeah, we want people to fill it out, take whatever they have, man, and see. They also have fake car loans. Weber Chevrolet's involved with them. And they could walk into Weber Chevrolet with their loan documents, all right, and demand that that finance and insurance guy be arrested on the spot. He sold a fake loan. So just keep doing, just fill out these documents and go in and get the cops involved. And then also go around to the realtors and inform them, because they definitely want to know about it.
Okay. So far, have you started any police reports?
Oh yeah, I mean, we've been in myself and my partner been in up to maybe 4 sheriff's departments, and all 4 of them were bribed. That's how bad this really is, dude. All right. Now, some of them initially was going to be helpful for us, but they found out who was really behind it, and they wet in their pants, dude. So they're worthless. But it was just 2 guys. So if you get a few thousand, then that's the game changer. So the goal is just to get people to simply take their fake documents and go and knock on that county sheriff or wherever you're at in the police department and say, you want them shut down now. You want them arrested. And
Right.
don't stop.
Right.
Okay?
Absolutely.
Yeah, and then, get on their own social media and spread the word on Facebook. Stan Kroenke does not own that team, dude. We proved that, and man, they come unglued when we was able to snuff that out. He was brought in we got the records from the Secretary of State. He's not as smart as what everybody thinks he is. Okay, he's just a scumbag, dude. So if everybody wants that team back, man, they want their house free and clear, now's the time to do it.
That's right. They can once again reach out to you on the website. They can also call you.
Absolutely. We're ready. We're rocking and rolling.
Okay. Well, that's our time today on the Real Rap Radio Show. I'd like to thank you for coming in and sharing your story.
Hey, man. Let's do it again, dude.
Okay. Sounds good.
Yeah.
So hold on for 1 second. So that's my time today on the Real Rap Radio Show. And I'll see you guys next time on the Real Rap Radio Show with Walil Archer. Thanks, guys.
Thank you, man. Thanks a lot, dude.